reaching beyond the borders into the unknown. Welcome to Paranormal Investigations of Oklahoma.
Welcome to this edition of Paranormal Investigations of Oklahoma. I'm trying something new. I normally just podcast here, but I've never tried to do video before, so this is going to be my first time for video. I know if you've been on my YouTube channel, you probably only seen me once on video, and that's when I was doing the Ice Bucket Challenge. But I'm going to try something new. You never know. One thing I want to try to do out in the field is take a camera with me. I did a podcast not too long ago with Adam Stone of This Could Get Weird, and we did a live podcast from a haunted location. So what I want to do is take the camera along with me and film a live podcast as we go through a haunted location. So this here is just kind of testing it out, see how it works. Like I said, I've never done a video before. You have to pardon my makeshift studio here. This is actually being filmed in my house hallway, and I kind of blocked some things off here to kind of look a little more presentable on video here. What I want to talk about today on this episode is pareidolia. And I bet a lot of you who are new out in the field are probably wondering, what the heck is pareidolia? Well, let's just jump right into it. I got my setup here, I got my mic, got my computer, so if you see me looking down, that's the reason why I'm looking down, because I got my computer in front of me. Let's go ahead and I'll read this off to you, what pareidolia is. And basically what it is, it's a psychological phenomena involving a vague and random stimulus, which often is an image or a sound, which may be perceived as something significant. So it's like looking at an object and something with texture on the wall, you know, and you're seeing patterns, and you may put a face with that. So you may look at this and say, ooh, that looks like eyes, and that looks like a mouth, and that looks like a nose, but it's nothing more than a rug up on the wall. Some common examples include of seeing images of animals or faces in the clouds. I'm going to throw some pictures up here up on my YouTube, and I'll throw them out there to you. One of the biggest things that is a good example of pareidolia, and it was a satellite image of a mesa there on Mars, and the image, by the angle of it, it looks like a face on Mars. Now, we all have heard about the face on Mars. There's been a lot of theories that ancient aliens or another alien race has put this face up on Mars. But technically, it's probably not a face. It's just simple pareidolia or matrixing. So a lot of people just get the misconception of, oh my gosh, that's an alien face. It's the first time we ever saw an alien face, which it's not. It's just a rock or a mountain, which happens when the satellite hit it. The way the shadows reflect off the crevices, guess what? It made a face. Alright. So I'm going to pull up some pictures here, and I'm going to throw them out here on Facebook. Pardon me, on YouTube here. And pardon my cold. I do have a sinus cold. Let's see. Let me pull up my stuff here. If I can get my computer to work. Alrighty, let's look at it. Some examples here, and I'll throw them out here on the page. Let's start out with I'll call it picture A. Alright, we'll let the computer boot this thing up here. Alrighty. Alright, I got this posted up now. It's an image of the face on Mars. And again, like I said, when you're looking at it from a distance, yeah, it looks like a face. You can see eyes, you can see a nose, you can see the mouth, and it looks like there's hair coming off to the side. But again, your mind is trying to perceive something. So when it looks at an object, and if it has a texture on it, immediately your mind creates something, so it looks like a face. This is one good example of pareidolia. Let's go on to another photograph here. Alright, let's check out photograph B. And photograph B is basically, again, another good indication of pareidolia. Here you got this house, and you see the garage, and the sunlight is shining through the trees, and the shadow that's being projected up on the garage door looks like a face. I can't tell you how many times this photo has been posted up on ghost hunter pages, and people immediately thought, hey, look, there's a ghost. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, it's not a ghost. All right, it's just simple pareidolia. It's obvious when you look at the photograph. You can see where the leaves are, and yes, it looks like a face. You can see the eyes, you can see the nose, you can see the mouth. But again, it's just shadows. It's just mind tricks. Simple pareidolia, matrixing. Okay, I'll throw it out here on this one here. Here's photograph C. Take a look at it. It is just simple clouds. Yeah, the clouds, you look at it, oh my God, there's a face in it. People throughout the centuries have laid back, and they looked up at the stars, or they look up at the clouds during the day, and it was always a game for kids to, what can you see in the clouds? Oh my gosh, look at there, there's a rabbit. There's a horse. Ooh, that looks like a piece of cake. There's a face. And again, it's nothing more than water moisture that's up in the air. It's just clouds, folks. It's not a ghost. It's not a monster. It's not a demon. It's another good example of pareidolia. Photograph D is a painting, and you notice all the different shapes. And this is a prime example of pareidolia. Once you look at the photograph, you can see like people inside this man. All these little shapes make it look like it's a man, but the more you dig into the photograph and you zoom in on it, you start seeing other figures. Okay. All right, let's check out one that's just recently been posted on the Ghost Hunter pages. And here's one that always cracks me up when it gets with ghost hunters. They'll say, can you see the ghost in this photograph? What do you mean you can't see it? Well, I guess I need to draw a circle around it. If I draw a circle or draw an outline around it, then you're able to see the ghost. Well, this picture here, and I'll throw it out there to you. Again, look at it. You see two kids, and then the background, the person that posted is claiming there's a figure of an old woman, or it could be a dog. And of course, from reading all through the blog posts, people are like, I don't see nothing. Doesn't look like nothing to me. Then you get these people who are like, oh yeah, I see it. I see a woman right there. It must be a ghost. Yeah. Well, obviously it's not a ghost, folks. When you look at it, you zoom in on it, it's obvious the pareidolia is being caused by the girl's hair and by the fabric in the background, and it looks like a face. Now, just because you draw a circle around it or you try to outline, okay, this is what the ghost looks like, you're not proving that it's a ghost. Okay? The number one rule when it comes down to paranormal research, to find the paranormal, you must exclude the normal. So, you have to debunk. You got to be logical when it comes down to ghost hunting. Let's look at this other photograph. This is photograph 2. This was recently posted up on one of these ghost hunter pages. And you see this pretty lady in her bride outfit, and she's got probably her mom and somebody else with her, and they're like, if you zoom in at the veil, you could see a face behind her. Again, it's simple pareidolia matrixing. If you're looking at the face, you zoom in, yeah, it looks like an alien head. It looks like a monster, it looks like a ghost. But if you really look at it, it's nothing more than pareidolia. You see an alien face, and it's just caused from her hair and the veil and whatever's behind her, the chair, something, that it distorts the image enough where it looks like it's a monster, okay? Let's look at photograph 3. Here's a good example. This photograph was posted where somebody takes a picture of a mirror. You can debunk this one pretty easily. People like to take photographs of glass, of mirrors, because they think ghosts can look out of them. But the problem with glass mirrors is when you get your hands on it, the oil from your hands, it sticks to that glass, folks. So again, it's just pareidolia. The shape of the smudges and stuff, it looks like a face. So if you zoom in on this picture, and like I said, I got it posted, yeah, it looks like a monster or a demon. You're like, oh my God, this thing's scary looking. Well, guess what? It's just handprints. It's just something simple, folks. Like I said, you got to debunk. That's why when I go on ghost investigations and I take pictures around the house, I don't really pay attention too much of glass or mirrors and go, oh my God, there's a ghost in there. Well, how do you know it's not your reflection, light reflection, shadow reflection? It could be anything. Majority of the time, it's just markings, smears on the glass, folks. Let's see here. Photograph 4. Here's a good example of pareidolia. This was posted several months ago, and here you got a lovely lady, and oh my gosh, look at the ghost that's behind her. And I'll post this one up too. They even circled around where here's the scarf, there's the ghost. Again, circling doesn't help you out any. It just kind of makes you look more stupid. I mean, not to be mean, but here's my deal when you have to circle something. If other people are not seeing it and you have to circle it for people to find the ghost, guess what? You probably don't have a ghost. If you're the only one that can see it, it's obvious it's pareidolia because it's affecting you. And if you have to tell somebody who's not seeing it, hey, yeah, it's right here. See, I circled it. Oh, yeah, I see it now. Well, now you got them doing the pareidolia. It's not a ghost, folks. All right? Again, looking at this photograph, it's obvious it's her scarf. The texture of the scarf, the material, the design of the scarf, and probably her hair is causing the shape that looks like a face. I'm going to throw these images out to you. Fire pareidolia. I see this crap all the time. People take pictures of fire and go, ooh, look at the ghost. Okay, here is 5A, and I'll throw that out there to you. Five A, yes, it looks like a skeletal man. Ooh, scary looking. But still, it's just fire, folks. What is fire? Heat? Fuel? Come on, look at it, folks. Air? It's just flames. It's a chemical reaction. It's just like anything else. You can get pareidolia from water, looking at ice, anything that's got a shape to it. Wood is a prime example of people seeing pareidolia. All right, and if you're looking at these photographs, boom, there you go. It's obvious. It's just flames, folks. Flames make weird shapes, and sometimes you get that picture just right. It looks like a face or it looks like a person. I'm throwing out photograph B now, 5B. 5B, this one was taken by somebody that was probably a firefighter or something, and it was a big house fire, and oh my gosh, they got a picture of the ghost in the flames, in the burning house. I see a lot of these on these ghost hunter pages, and again, it's nothing more than pareidolia or matrixing. In the photograph, if you zoom in on it, with fire, like I said, it's a heat source, and it puts off light, and depending on the temperature of the heat, the lighting may be different in certain sections of the flame. So what you're looking at here is nothing more than shadow play, all right? Lighting sources, either from the fire or whatever light's coming in or not coming in, the smoke in the air, debris, all can cause pareidolia. Photograph 6, here's a good one. It's a bride with her friend, probably her bridesmaid or something, and this one was all over Facebook. Oh my gosh, look at the ghost. Okay, people zoom in and they see the ghost on her left-hand side. Oh my gosh, he looks evil. He looks creepy. Well, let's zoom in. Let's debunk it. All right. Again, it's simple pareidolia. You zoom in on it. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it does look like eyes. You see these two evil-looking eyes looking over her shoulder. Well, if you really look hard at this photograph and you zoom in on it, you can tell it's just her curls in her hair. And it's just the angle of the shot and the lighting conditions that's causing the pareidolia. That's it. That's all it is. Photograph 7 here, I'll throw that out there to you. Photograph 7, you got the girl holding up a peace sign, the dude's got his glasses on. What's that in between them? Oh my God, it's a face. It must be a ghost. Well, let's debunk it, shall we? All right, if you zoom in on it, it's obvious there's something in the background that's causing it. So it's either their clothing. I'm guessing more likely it's probably her hair. And here's the deal, folks. It's all lighting conditions. Yes, oh my gosh, it looks like a face. And truthfully, when I looked at this photograph, I first thought it was photoshopped. I thought, really? This looks fake. But the more I got to look at it, it's just simple pareidolia. All right, with both of them are close together. Whatever they're wearing, either if it's a scarf or a hat or her hair or whatever, it's just causing matrixing. All you're seeing, what looks like a face, and it's not. It's just your mind trying to comprehend what it's seeing. And what it is if your mind can't figure out what it is, it makes something up. So if it looks like a face, it's going to tell your mind it is a face. All right? Here's a classic one. I used to use this for like observations for ghost hunters. If I'm training newbies in the field, I use this picture and say, tell me what you see. And the reason why I do that, if they're paying attention to the background and see what they can find in photographs. All right. Let's see. Here you got a group photo. And in the group photo, it's a bunch of girls, probably a bunch of friends hanging out, and then you got a little girl crying her eyes out, okay? When this was posted, everyone's like, okay, the little girl could tell the ghost was there because she's crying because she's scared. You get a lot of photographs like this. People post crap on these ghost hunter pages. Even if they fake the photo, they want to convince you that it's real. What's the easiest way to convince you that a ghost photo is real is let's bring a little child into it. Because little kids don't lie. Oh my God, look at this poor little girl. She's crying her eyes out. And if you look into the circle between the two legs of the girls, you see this, oh my gosh, it looks like a little girl's face. So the young girl, she's crying because there's a ghost right there. Well, I love it how they juice stories up like that. I recently noticed a photograph also, and I don't have it here to post, but it works the same way with orbs. You know, people are like, oh my God, there's an orb. You know how there's an orb? There's a little kid that's pictured like this, and he's pointing at the orb. Which, when it boils down to it, A, it's probably not an orb. It was obvious in the photograph. It's just a dust particle. And it was just freak coincidence. The kid's pointing at it. But when people post these photographs, they're like, oh my God. The little kid knew the ghost was there and he was pointing at it. Come on, really? Like the little kid, the baby, was really going to be like, Mommy's taking a photograph. I'm going to point at the ghost. Come on. Seriously? Alrighty. But this is the same way with this photograph. It's just simple pareidolia. Alright? The background, there's probably something on the wall. It's shadow play, light play. And yes, it looks like a ghost. It looks like a face of a little girl. But in my mind, this could be easily recreated in the field. Let's look at photograph 9 here. I'll throw it up here. It's a young man, and he's standing behind something, nature in the background. And, oh my gosh, there's a face on a rock. Must be a ghost, right? Now, hold your horses. No, again, it's just pareidolia. Nature, you'll find a lot of crap in nature that looks like faces. Rocks, again, clouds, like I showed the pictures of the clouds. It's nothing more than just simple pareidolia and matrixing. Matrixing, pardon me. With this photograph here, it's obvious that it's just a rock. It's just a mountain. It's just a texture, and yeah, it looks like a face. But it's light play, color play, again, simple matrixing. I've seen a lot of mistakes in the ghost hunting field when it comes down to pareidolia, and people look like fools out in the field because they start posting crap claiming it's ghosts when it's not. Pareidolia gets people all the time. I went to home investigations, business investigations. Well, they'll show me photographs and say, yeah, we got a ghost here. And I'm looking at it. One was a museum that I went to, and they claimed, like, all right, here we go. We took this photograph, and if you look at the picture, this 1800s picture, and you can see the ghost reflection off the glass. Again, with looking at it, it was obvious it was pareidolia, matrixing. If you watch the TV ghost shows, like Ghost Hunters, Ghost Adventures, shows like that, just note, I'm not promoting the show or bashing the shows. I'm just using them as an example because I watch the shows and I love them. But again, they get on there and tell you what pareidolia is and what matrixing is. And a lot of the photographs they get are the same way. But I'm trying to think of another location. I've been to a lot. Yeah, most of the time they'll take a picture of just a random object and they think there's a ghost in it. And I'm not going to lie, when I was new in the field, I made the same mistake. I'm not going to lie to you. I got one picture. I swore there was a ghost that was sitting behind one of the investigators. And what it was this picture was a rounded vase, a glass vase. And in the investigation, you know, my investigator's sitting in the chair, and he's just kind of concentrating, because he's a sensitive, so he's sitting there kind of concentrating. And over here is where I took the photograph. You know, it's further off in this area. So when I took the photograph, in the reflection, I could see him sitting there. But it looked like there was a shape that was hovered over him like this. We thought we had a ghost. Like I said, I was new in the field. I was brand new. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. So I thought it was a ghost. Well, I've been in the field for a long time now and done research and stuff. And I like to go back through my old evidence and try to debunk it. And you may have evidence that's 2 or 3 years old, and you go back through it again, and you're like, oh, crap, that's freaking pareidolia. How did I miss that? That's what it was. Light reflections, shadow reflections, made it look like there was a woman hovering over him, which it wasn't. It was just a reflection. We were able to recreate it. If you can recreate it, not a ghost. But a lot of people get photographs like that, and people got to realize, you know, you can't just run with it and say it's a ghost when it's not. You have to debunk, folks. I know it's hard. I mean, you're in the field and you're looking looking hard to find ghosts. You're trying to prove ghosts exist. And it sucks when you go on a lot of investigations and you don't get nothing. But when you do find something that's interesting, and that's my word, is interesting, you get excited and you immediately want to jump on the bandwagon that you got something and you got a ghost. Well, again, to find the paranormal, you must debunk the normal. So you have to debunk everything. When it comes to photographs, it's hard to use photographs as evidence. And people are like, are you kidding me? That's how you get ghosts on photographs, right? You can get them on pictures and stuff. Well, the problem with photographs is just like this video here. It's only recording just this area. So you're only getting a small segment of the environment. Right now, yeah, it may look like I'm in a studio, which I'm not. Like I said, I'm in a hallway in my house. It doesn't look like a hallway because I can deceive the photograph. I can deceive the environment. I got these rugs hanging up, or these blankets hanging up here, and it looks like, oh my gosh, Kale's in the studio. No, I'm not in the studio. But it's the same way with ghost hunting. When you take a photograph, it only takes a small section of the environment. You can't see what's off to the sides. You're like, whoa, where'd my hand go? Well, you can't see what's beyond where the lens comes out. So, like I said, it only takes a small section of the environment. So you really can't tell whatever that light is or that pareidolia is. You don't know what's really causing that to happen. So if you do get an anomaly or something paranormal on the photo, it's hard to debunk it. Now, we always recommend when you're taking photographs is take multiple photographs of the environment at different angles. So right now, I may take a photograph, take double shots in this direction, take double shots in this direction, take double shots in this direction. And the reason being, you're documenting the environment. So later on, when you're going through all your evidence and stuff, you're like, okay, I got this weird picture here. It looks very interesting. It could be paranormal. Let's look at the rest of the photographs to make sure nothing could be causing this. So you're going through your photographs and like, that right there, you know, for say this was a house investigation and you went through the photographs and you're like, there's a lamp there. It's reflective. So it's possible the angle of the lamp could be shining a light on the wall. So I'll debunk this one. So you can kind of see where I'm going with it. When it comes with photography or with cameras, it's hard to document the area. You're only documenting what's in front of the lens. My favorite for ghost hunting is to use recorders and other recording devices like this microphone. I'll use this microphone as an example. When you're gathering evidence, when sound comes towards it, yes, it can focus into the mic, but this mic can pick up the whole surrounding area of the environment compared to a picture that only gets a small section. So if this mic was in the corner here, whatever's going out this direction, it can pick up. If you see what I'm saying. So if this mic was in the middle of the room, it can pick up the whole environment. So when you get EVPs and stuff like that, you can pretty much debunk it. Alright? It picks up more. I think EVPs are probably the best proof of the paranormal. Now, again, when it comes down with EVPs, just remember that EVPs don't prove ghosts exist. All it proves is electronic voice phenomena exist. So just kind of keep that in mind. I'm kind of trailing off from the pareidolia section here, but there's really not much into pareidolia. There's just not. It's simple, folks. Simple. Pareidolia also, you can get pareidolia from audio and noises. Most people, when you think of pareidolia and matrixing, pardon me, is you can only see it in photographs. But you can get it in sounds too, and you're like, well, Kel, what are you talking about? I don't. You lost me. What it is with sounds, you may get a hum, like you may be hearing the hum from my laptop, but it may be consistent enough where the hum, your mind can't figure out what the hum is, so it tells you that it's something. So your mind makes up like, okay, this hum is actually saying your name. So you may think you're hearing your name or someone talking, and all it is just a simple hum. And we call that sound pareidolia. And that happens a lot. People around machinery. I've been on investigations where they say, yeah, I was up in this loft, and I always hear my name, or I think I hear people talking. And then we go and investigate it and notice, oh, there's a fan there. And they always leave the fan on. Well, the sound of the fan, your mind just gets used to it being in the background. But the problem is that when it does, when your ears pick that sound up, and you're focusing in on it, your mind turns it into something. So if it can't figure out what it is, it may translate it as a voice. It's just random stimulus that your mind turns into something else. But like I said, it's just auditory pareidolia. So you got it visually and audio. You can find pareidolia anywhere. I recommend, if you're a ghost hunter and you're new into the field, to do tests out in the field. I just recommend, if you're new into the field and you're new into ghost hunting, is to test stuff. So I recommend that you go out into the field and you test different theories and test the pareidolia. Go out into nature and see if you can find stuff that looks like faces and take photographs of it. It doesn't mean it's a ghost. It's just meaning that it's paranormal. I'm starting to have some equipment issues. I just lost my video, and so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this podcast up. So it's going to be pretty short when it comes down to it. So my apologies for it being short. So again, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to Paranormal Investigations of Oklahoma. If you get a chance, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like me on Facebook. And hopefully next time, if I try the video part, it'll work out better. I just have a feeling I probably just used up all my memory out of my memory card. I really don't have a video camera. I was trying to record it off just a standard digital camera that you can record video on, and it's not really made for long extended videos. So I guess I'll holler at you folks next time. You have a good day, and I'll talk to you later.